So I came back on to do some more reading because I went through the contents page. Look at this, look how many there are. Oh my gosh, can't turn the pages. I love that. Rebel Folklore, awesome. Okay, this is the contents page. Can you spot the Cailleach? Ta-da! Does not look so good, and this is the forward. By Natasha Bowen and one by Amy Jeffs. I'm gonna have to read them as well. But I found the two that spotted that caught my eye. The first one was the Cailleach, obviously, and then Baba Yaga. Who shall I read? The Cailleach, right? It's coming up to Samhain. So, 24, page 24. Oh, look at her. Oh, and the labyrinth too. Oh my gosh. I love that. The mountains with her icy foot. Bringing in the cold and the winter and the sleep. Wow, that is a pretty epic illustration. Who's that by again? Melissa Jarram. And the book's written by Icy Cedric. I'm going to have to do some research on who that is because I am loving the writing style. Okay, so the Cailleach from the British Isles. Celtic legend, right? So, it is late autumn, which it is. Oh, nice. And many of the trees are casting aside their golden leaves. A giantess strides across the land, leaving a blanket of snow in her wake. She strikes the earth with her staff, and ice blossoms with every impact. Winter swaddles the landscape following her visit, while storms cluster on the horizon, eagerly waiting their turn to arrive. This is the Cailleach, a powerful creator goddess associated with Irish, Scottish, and Manx mythology. Is Manx the Isle of Man? I think it is. Her name means old woman or hag, and it appears in terms like Cailleach Feasa. My pronunciation is going to be atrocious. I'm so sorry. Please tell me how to say it correctly. But it means wise woman. She shapes the seasons and even the land, throwing up mountains with her hammer. She's a strong and fierce old woman, often considered a crone as part of the major mother crone life cycle, made popular with modern paganism. In some stories, she has a single eye and bluish grey skin. Okay. In many legends, she's contrasted with Bridget. So it's spelled Brighde. It's Bridget, right? But I don't know how to say it like this pronunciation. The youthful summer goddess who walks across the land between 1st of May and 1st of November. Some stories see the Cailleach and Brigid. I'm going to say Bridget because that's what's in my head, and I'm really sorry that I'm not saying the proper word. Simply changing form to mirror the changing seasons. Okay. Other tales see the Cailleach turn to stone on either the 1st of February or the 1st of May, only returning to life on the 1st of November. In one legend from Scotland, she's linked with Tígnam Bodach. Oh, a thatched stone hut in Glen Cailleach, Perthshire. The name means house of the old man, and during the summer months, a collection of stones sits outside. The tale explains that the Cailleach is the largest stone, with two other stones being her husband, the Bodach, and their daughter, Neen. I think it's Neen. I've read this story before, but it's spelled Nighean. Again, if I'm wrong, tell me please. I am happy to be corrected on that. Centuries ago, the locals gave the family shelter. In a show of gratitude, the Cailleach blessed them with a fertile glen whenever they stayed there. She promised the locals that if they cared for the stones, the glen would remain prosperous. The locals built the hut, and every 1st of May they placed the stones outside overlooking the glen. They moved the stones back inside on the 31st of October. No one is sure when the ritual began, but it continues to this day. Do you know, I heard about that story when I was, there's this YouTube channel I like called Living the Sky Life, and they're awesome. And they were talking about some oh my gosh, they were talking about something, and I started looking into the area, and then I found that there was this legend, and that people didn't really know where it was, but that the locals continue this tradition year in year. And I've been waiting to find out the information because I forget that I'm curious about something until it pops up again. And here it is. Popped right up in Rebel Folklore. I love that. Synchronicity. Anyway, other stories associate the Cailleach with the harvest itself, and she challenges young men to reaping competitions that she always wins, at a cost to them, as her victory means the loss of their life. Oh, okay. One young man wins the competition by thrusting iron spikes into the ground that blunt her scythe. Unable to keep up, the Cailleach leaves, sparing the young man and his companions. Some version of the tale see him given the idea by the Cailleach's daughter, who takes pity and strives to help him avoid an early death. Oh, okay. Gosh, love that. Tracing the provenance of the Cailleach is not easy, and the stories sometimes contradict each other. To some, she is so old her myth has no beginning. I like that. To others, she comes from Norway, crafting the landscape with the rocks she carried. The earliest stories appear in Ireland before moving to Scotland. She appears to predate more famous Celtic gods, such as the horse god Epona, and is associated more with the land itself than with other gods. For the poet and spiritual activist Patricia Monaghan, goddesses of Irish mythology replaced the Cailleach, which perhaps explains why there are no holy places dedicated to her in the country. I didn't know that. Wow. In essence, the Cailleach represents female sovereignty, the wilderness, and the supreme power of nature. Yeah. She's badass. The Cailleach has similarities with other seasonal tales such as Persephone and Demeter. The Persephone myth sees the goddess descend into the underworld to spend 6 months with Hades. Her mother Demeter misses her... Let me just put my teeth back in. Her mother Demeter misses her so much that she sends the world into autumn and winter. When Persephone re-emerges, the earth enjoys the return of spring. Such tales help to explain natural phenomena, although the Cailleach is far more forbidding than the maternal Demeter. She plunges the world into a harsh winter until Bridget returns, and she's not always keen to hand the world over to her young counterpart. In essence, the Cailleach represents female sovereignty, the wilderness, and the supreme power of nature. Some writers describe her as the personification of nature itself, which makes her a popular and valuable figure in the face of the climate crisis. Unlike many of the sanitized goddesses, recast as avatars of love or motherhood, the Cailleach is linked with the dangers of unpredictable weather. On the west coast of Scotland, people believe she washes her plaid in the burning waters of the Gulf of the Corrib Wreckin, an act that brings in winter. Her actions can look destructive, yet the quiet periods of rest enforced by winter are necessary for growth. She reminds us of the importance of winter to our agricultural cycles, something many of us no longer have contact with in the modern world. Do you feel that? Who else feels that, like when it gets to this kind of time and the seasons are turning and it's getting colder and winter is coming, you just want to hibernate? Like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I just want to shut the doors and batten the hatches and light a fire and make a stew. Like, that's all I want to do. It's really, yeah. The Cailleach is also a rare depiction of power associated with female old age. Yes, in a world obsessed with temporary youth over the valid experience of the passing years. The Cailleach is ancient, but you would never call her elderly. She is often thought to have a healthy sexual appetite, and several legends note she has outlived 7 husbands. While their names are lost to history, hers is not. The opposition between the Cailleach and the youthful Bridget also shows that people preferring young women to their older counterparts is nothing new. Yet the cyclical nature of their eternal power share shows us how important both youth and age are. We cannot have one without the other. Epic! I really enjoyed that. So let me know what you think of Rebel Folklore. Again, I will put the link in the description below, and let's pick something for next time.